Are you thinking about moving to Dunkirk? Watch this video to know all the pros and cons before you do. What's up everybody, my name is Rob Schou and I'm with EXP Realty in Southern Maryland. If this is your first time on our channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, you click the little bell so you're notified every time we put out new content about living in Southern Maryland. Honestly, we love helping people move down here, so if that sounds like something you're going to do, use that contact information below, and if you scroll down to the comments, you're going to see where you can click a link to schedule a Zoom meeting with me about moving to Southern Maryland as well. I can give you some tips, tricks, advice, and get an idea of where you want to be and help you out on your Southern Maryland home buying journey. Alright, so like I said in the intro, today we're going to talk about living in Dunkirk. And now Dunkirk is one of those areas that I get a lot of questions about and a lot of people interested in. So I wanted to do this video just to give people a good overview and some pros and cons of living in Dunkirk. Now before we even get started, Dunkirk is a town kind of in that northern part of Calvert County, and it's an up and coming town. I'd say there's more and more business development going on in there, and more people are starting to look to move to the area. And a lot of that has to do with, in Maryland, it's ranked 22 out of 497 out of the best places to live in Maryland, and it's the #1 place right now ranked, #1 place to live in Calvert County according to niche.com. So both of those statistics are from niche.com, and so it ranks really high in those, and a lot of different stuff comes into play when making those rankings for niche.com. Like I said before, Dunkirk is small. Officially it has around 3,000 residents, but it is starting to grow. More and more people are moving to the area. The west side of Dunkirk kind of is aligned with the Patuxent River, and the east side goes to the middle of Calvert County. The average size house is about 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths, about 2,400 square feet, and the average price of a home sold in 2021 was $554,000. So Dunkirk is not, compared to other Southern Maryland areas, say Waldorf and Lusby, is not a cheap place to live, but it can be a good option for some specific situations that I'm going to go over in the pros here. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about the pros first of Dunkirk, and then we'll go into the cons. And I got a few pros to go over. I think one of the biggest pros, and one of the things I read a lot about, and one of the things I hear from people that are looking to move the area, they're looking for a small town feel. So Dunkirk checks that box. It is a town that is just like kind of a small town feel. Everyone knows each other. Everyone is really kind to each other, and you don't feel like you're just someone lost amongst a whole big population of people. You really feel like you're a part of a community and part of something beyond yourself when you're living in Dunkirk, is what a lot of people comment on when they're looking to move there. Now, it's a small town, like I said, but another pro is it's really close to DC if you're looking to commute to DC. And that's one of the reasons why these property prices are going up. It's because you can commute to DC in 45 minutes and still be removed from DC in a rural setting. So it really is, I think it's probably one of the best compromises out there, where you're driving for 45 minutes to an hour based on traffic, of course, and you're coming into a really country, suburban, even rural-ish feel area and away from the city. So if you're one of those people that work in DC or those surrounding areas but don't want to live in those higher priced areas or in those higher populated areas, then Dunkirk may be that area that you choose to go and retreat to after you're coming home from work, with it being that close and the prices being a little bit lower. Another great pro of Dunkirk is the lot size. Now, I talked about the home size and kind of stuff like that earlier. Now, the average size of a lot sold in 2021 in Dunkirk was an acre-sized lot. So when you're going out there, not only are you getting a bigger house, not only are you getting more beds and baths, you're getting more room to spread. People are putting in pools. People are just being able to use their backyards for different huge cookouts and barbecues and parties and stuff like that. So it's that really good feel of just being able to be homebound in not a bad way. Like, you're not going to want to leave your home because you've made it such a great place for you and your family to be, and maybe in-laws and people like that to come and visit as well. And my next pro is, not only is it close to DC to be able to commute for work, it's close to DC, Annapolis, even Baltimore and other areas to go and find entertainment. So if you're a Nats fan or a Commanders fan or a Ravens fan or an Orioles fan or just a sports fan in general, Dunkirk kind of puts you in that area where you're going to be able to go and see those games and see those sports pretty easily. If you're a fan of the arts and theaters, being able to be close to DC and go to the Kennedy Center and do that kind of stuff right there is just really awesome. And it doesn't take up your whole day driving there and back. So if you're someone that loves to do those kind of things, entertainment things on the weekend, but don't want to live within that city, Dunkirk again is kind of that happy medium of not too close to city and not too far removed from it. One more pro that I'm going to talk about are the outdoor opportunities. So there are tons of outdoor opportunities for you to go out and do. There's parks, there's nature preserves. If you're into bird watching, if you're into fishing, there's just tons of stuff all around Dunkirk that you could go and do, and you could spend some time with your family. So it's not just hanging out at the house and playing in the backyard. There's sports fields, there's all that kind of stuff that you can go out and do with your family as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the cons. And there are a few cons to living in Dunkirk. One of them, I think, is the home prices. Compared to other areas in Calvert County, Dunkirk is pretty expensive. Like I said, the average price of a house sold last year, it was around $554,000 or $550,000. Compared to, say, southern Calvert County, where Lusby, and those are in the 300s. So it is more pricey to live in that Dunkirk area. But you're paying more because you're getting bigger homes, bigger lots, and a shorter commute to those main work areas. So that price is reflective of the convenience you're getting and the value you're getting a lot of times in those ones. So I get that it's a con because of the prices, but at the same time, those houses are less expensive than the ones that are in those Montgomery and PG County areas surrounding DC. Another con was a lot of houses in Dunkirk, because it's kind of a small town and that's just starting to grow. A lot of the homes that were sold last year were older construction homes. Now there's some new neighborhoods coming up. One that comes to mind right away is the lakes at Twin Shields. Twin Shields used to be a golf course, and a lot of homes just got built in that area where the golf course was. Now the average price point of these homes are in the $800,000 to $900,000, so they are more expensive home. But there's some of the ones that I saw that sold last year that were fairly newly built in the 2020 2021 range. So there are more developments coming, but for right now, a lot of the houses being sold in Dunkirk are older homes that other people have lived in for a little while. My last con would be Dunkirk is a small town. So I knew that was a pro before. Some people really love the small town feel, but something I hear a lot from especially younger people is that there's not a whole bunch to do in Dunkirk, and there's not. There's a lot of smaller chain restaurants and stuff like that around the area, but as far as movie theaters and stuff really to do right in Dunkirk, it's not there yet. I do think with the influx of population, we're going to see some more development and more changings of Dunkirk in that respect. But at the same time, while it's a con, it's not right there. You're not far from other areas that have that you can travel into. So just be aware of that. If that's something you really want, being able to be at a movie theater or a playhouse or something like that within 5 minutes, Dunkirk may not be your best choice. All right, so hopefully this information about Dunkirk was helpful to you. If you have any questions, make sure you use the contact information below or scroll down to the comments and click on my link that will let you schedule a Zoom meeting with me about moving to Southern Maryland. And if you haven't yet, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content.